Hey everyone, it's Dr. Bob Lee. Welcome to Open BxRx, another fantastic show coming up. Coming up on today's show, we'll hear from the senior editor, Finurah, and a daily content contributor to Moguldum. She's going to reflect on her journey in the world of journalism, and she's going to share some thoughts on the state of Black media. She's going to do it right here, right away, right today. And then we'll hear from a power couple who are they're helping others stay fit in mind, body, and spirit as they promote their upcoming Can't Miss Couples event. You don't want to miss it. We've got it all right here. After that, we'll speak to the president of a company about how he is helping small businesses put it all together. He's got the business owners prepared for economic recession. And then finally, we'll speak to an old friend of the show who is using her platform to share revealing but impactful stories of sexual abuse survivors. And we'll hear all about that and what she's doing in the city. And she's going to be talking to city legislators and their experience with sexual assault and how it has shaped him. So stay tuned. All of this and more is headed your way because we are now open. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Bob Lee, and I'm your host, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. In fact, you can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. We've got a whole lot in store for you. Leading things off, we're joined by the senior editor of Finurah, daily content contributor also for Moguldum, and she is the senior editor for New York Trend. She joins us to speak about her over 20 years of experience in journalism and to highlight the work that she is doing with her current publication and much more. So please welcome to the show. She's here. Here she is, Ann Brown. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Ann Brown, you've done so much in journalism. Tell us how it all started.
Oh, wow.
About yourself first. You don't know where to start, right?
Well, interestingly, it started when I was a little girl. I loved magazines and the media and news, and it fascinated me. So when I went to college, that's what I studied and stayed in it ever since.
Yeah. What college are we talking about?
NYU, New York
All
University.
right.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. And what do you think of the state of journalism today? There's so much sensationalism in it.
Not very good. And unfortunately, the internet has been a curse and a blessing.
Yeah.
Everything has to be everything is so fast paced that there's no real reporting anymore, no time to do deep dives into stories. Everything has to be turned around, and publications are concentrated on how many views can we get. So in that aspect, I think it's on the downhill, but on the other side, you have the media has much more exposure. You can reach more people. So there are pluses and minuses, but I miss the good old days when you could really take not a long time, but dive into a story, do as much investigation as you needed before it went to print.
So if you were going around speaking at colleges and universities, what do you tell people who want to get into this business of ours? If they don't, a lot of them say, wow, this is what I want to get into, but is it going to be ready for me? Am I going to be ready for it when I graduate?
Exactly. Yeah. And I started out in print media. Now it's digital media. So if this is what you want to do, first of all, you have to have a passion for it, because it's not an industry where you are immediately rewarded. It takes a lot of time to build a reputation and to I guess to work your way up.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient. You have to love what you're doing, and just realize that there's a reason for what you're doing it for. You're supposed to be exposing the truth about whatever you're reporting about.
Mhm.
So if you
And when
have a
we got into it years ago, we were talking about multimedia,
right.
multimedia communications, and this is a part of the multimedia, social media. And what are we looking at here?
Oh, just uh various I guess more I used to do more of entertainment celebrities and that's how I kind of got into it initially.
Yeah,
Um and then now I focus more on business and social uh news more than entertainment right now. But initially I was doing more entertainment reporting.
yeah.
And those are some of the, I guess, the out and about pictures.
What do you think about the difference between the media that we spoke about back then and the social media that we have that includes influencers and things of that nature?
Yeah, I'm torn because I love watching influencers myself and reading what they're
Yeah,
talking about, but I think they're given a lot of weight and they're not really journalists. And think I think people are getting a lot of uh, fake news because they follow what influencers are saying or what people are posting on social media and not going to legitimate news sources to get the information. So you have rumors that become news and gossip that becomes news rather than news, the real facts of story.
yeah. And do you think a lot of people are trying to put all the news in the headlines? You know, that
Yeah.
little piece that
Hmm.
they can capture people with, and
Exactly.
people don't even go and read the rest of the story. They take that, say this is what happened, but if
Right.
you read the rest of the story, it tells you exactly what happened or what that perspective was from that person who wrote it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I kind of miss that because now everything is upfront in your face.
Yeah,
There's no storytelling. And when I was younger, I would lock myself in the room and just read like Vanity Fair or articles when I was really into entertainment articles that did more investigative. The New Yorker, they did deeper deeper dives into stories, and it was a buildup of what you're reading rather than just let me put it all in the headline and in the first paragraph, just so I can get someone to clickbait.
yeah. And this is a tough business to be in uh, if you're trying to do a relationship because that main relationship, you're giving so much that main relationship becomes a part of what you're doing as opposed to, your close up in your face personal relationship with your spouse. Uh,
Oh,
how do you make that work?
with my spouse?
Yes.
Well, my spouse, you've actually interviewed him, so
Yeah,
he
he's a recording artist.
he's a recording artist. So I have worked with him when he needs me to do some publicity and that sort of thing. So um, as far as there being a conflict or causing a issue, not really. But I, sometimes wonder when I'm on the publicity side of things how I can get more publicity
Yeah,
because everything is such a, everyone wants like some sensational uh, plug.
yeah.
And
This,
instead of
yeah,
just let the talent shine through, this is someone, this is,
yeah.
a talent rather than, oh, let me put something that's sensational. Yeah.
But you guys kind of get an understanding or have an understanding of how it all works. You have a career, he has a career, you're helping him with his, and he's helping you with yours.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one hand washes the other.
exactly. Exactly. And he just released a couple of new videos. And if anyone wants to see those can be seen on his YouTube channel, The Real
Uh,
Cosme, Kozme.
uh,
Um,
okay,
so
so promoting it. Go ahead, do your thing. That's good. So you got to promote his, and you got to promote yours too.
uh
Um, Finurah. Speak about Finurah.
Well, Finurah, I'm working with the new publication. Well, we're about a little bit over a year old. It's a
Yeah.
publication that is being put out by the folks behind Atlanta Black Star. And Finurah is a platform, a media outlet focusing on wealth building and financial information for African Americans to sort of provide information on how you can build your wealth. Here are people who are building their wealth. Here's how they've done it, and here's the tools that you can do it. How you can do it as well.
And that includes Moguldum.
Moguldum is a separate publication because
Okay.
I sort of still am freelancing for
But
that.
you're working them together, though, right?
Yeah, there's two separate entities. Moguldum focuses more on news, politics, social justice information. Reparations is something I cover a lot for them. Information about what's going on in the reparations movement. So that is more of I guess more of a outlet that deals with political issues and social topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you working on anything new that's coming up that we don't know about yet?
Yeah, and some things I'm trying to pull it up on the side so I can make sure.
But the answer is yes.
Yeah, I have a couple of different things. I just finished editing a new book. And it right now tentatively it's called From Triumph to Truth, Hands Up, Don't Shoot, The Legacy of Philip Clint Parnell. And it's by the mother and sister of Philip Parnell, the mother Thelma Parnell and the sister Natasha Parnell. And we just completed their book. And MSNBC just did a documentary on the story of Philip Parnell. It was from the 1990s, shot in Teaneck, New Jersey by the police.
Yeah.
And he had his hands up. So now the mother and daughter are put together their side of the story because a lot of misinformation had come out. The documentary that MSNBC just aired about 2 months ago started the journey of truth telling for them. Their book goes a lot deeper into it. And it goes into the history of one Black family and their interactions with the police throughout from the mother's childhood, growing up on farms in the South, and how her father was treated by the police, to how her son was ultimately killed by the police. So it's a very interesting story. Yeah, and they're shopping that book right now. So that's one thing I love about what I do, because I get to learn so much. I get to find out new stories. I'm always learning something new. And this is such an interesting story, and how it resurfaced because of the George Floyd situation.
Yeah.
And that it's still going on today,
Well, continue to keep us aware of what's going on, and good luck with Finurah and Moguldum and your husband with all of the videos and stuff that he has coming out. You'll let us all on one website?
Huh?
Can you get all of that stuff on one website?
I should try, right?
Put it all on there. Put it all, yeah. So when we go there, we can see everything that you talk about today.
And one other book I wanted to, there's one other book I get a plug in.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's also because it's a very interesting story. You mentioned I work with New York Trend, which is one of the oldest publications in New York City. And actually started out there as an intern when I was in college, which I still work for And so it's one of the oldest Black publications in New York City. And it's Black woman owned. And the woman who owns New York Trend, Dr. Trusa Taylor Williams, has her own book out. And I worked on that with her, called The Death of the Good Girl. And it talks about her journey through cancer. Her husband was leading a double life. It's a very interesting story full of twists and turns.
And you're going to post that up on your website?
Yes, I'll post it on the website.
And that website is?
I don't have.
Well, we'll get it. And we're going to put it up, okay? We're going to go there and check it out. Ann Brown, thank you so much, okay, Ann? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ann Brown, senior editor, Finurah, and content contributor to Moguldum. We appreciate you. Looking forward to the new book, and we'll catch you another day, another way, Ann.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you. Bye-bye.
We'll take a quick break right here. I've got more open coming your way next.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Welcome back, everybody, of the Dr. Bob Lee. I have a husband and wife team. They've been on before. They're providing a vital service with their mental health conditioning gym. And they're with us to speak about those services and highlight an important upcoming event that they're organizing for couples. So please welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Elliot and Michele Allen. How you guys doing, man? Long time no see.
Doing great.
Hi. Thanks for having us again. Love the intro. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Thank you for having us.
We can say Happy New Year until maybe the end of January or something like that. People
I
still,
do. So
right.
yes, I'm with you on that.
So what have you guys been up to?
Good.
Oh, listen, continuing with the Couples Night of Love, continuing with the mental conditioning movement, continuing to really forward progress, how important mindset is, and showing all the different levels that it translates into our lives. And this happens to be probably our favorite event in the mental conditioning movement, which is Couples Night of Love. And we're very excited about it. This will be our 6th time doing it, and it gets better and better each and every time, and we're looking forward to some super sparks on this particular night, February the 11th.
It's a beautiful thing. The sparks continue to fly, but before we get deeply involved in what we're going to talk about, for the people who just tuned in or just met you, let us know a little bit about yourselves and how it all came together.
Well, I'm Michele. This is Elliot. We call ourselves Team Allen.
Team Allen.
Team Allen, yes, that's what we call ourselves. We have a very unique love story. I love our love story. We grew up next door to each other, so this is the boy next door, and that's who I married. So I married the boy next door.
That's a book right there, The Boy Next Door.
Yeah. Yeah. Married the boy next door, and we live next door. I moved right next door. We bought the house from his parents, and I'm right next door. My dad is still on the other side. But we've been married now for 17 years. And we have 2 kids together based here in New York. It's fantastic.
Yes, forward progressing and dealing with, very demanding careers, but also continue with our own businesses as far as the mental conditioning movement and some of the things that Michele is doing dear to my heart. So that's where hence Team Allen comes from. But, we're just really trying to set a great example for what it looks like to be able to have great partnership. And that's really what we appreciate you being able to, put us on here and just for us to be able to talk and be able to have people hear our stories. That's a very important part of mindset and understanding what union is about, because I truly believe that that's something that we suffer from in today's society is understanding the union of marriage. It really propels to do certain things in life that we never thought was possible. I tell people all the time, and they get sick of hearing me saying it, but I'm probably here today because of my wife. The mental conditioning movement is because of my wife and the things that she's instilled in me and me entrusting in her and our union to be able to go forward and push forward.
I like what you guys are doing. We just had celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday. And, they tell a story of, they had it at the Apollo Theater, the story of when Martin Luther King came to Harlem and he was doing a book signing, and how this woman asked him, "Are you Martin Luther King?" And he said, "Yes." And she jumped up and stabbed him in the chest with a letter opener. And they took him to Harlem. The big documentary they put together behind that, but Harlem saved his life, But the thing is that they want to do something about mental health, and I'm glad that there are people like you guys out there, stepping out and saying something about it and saying, "Hey, there is a situation, there is a problem. here's one of the ways, you know, and it takes a bunch of people moving together in the same direction for a common cause to make it all happen. But, you know, every little bit counts. Now, you have an organization, you guys have come together as a team to help out with that. What can we do? What more can we do?
Well, we have the Couples Night of Love. That's one of our, like I said, one of our favorite events that we do. We do various events throughout the year, but that's our favorite event, the Couples Night of Love. You know, this year our theme is for couples that work long hours. So we wanted to focus on those types of couples because we are them and they are us. We have long hours. We're living in New York because we're based in New York. So it's here now in New York, and we're moving. Life is going. Life is hitting us and hitting us and hitting us. And sometimes, not intentionally, we forget about our partners and the ones that we love that are with us and, you know, together in marriage with us. So we created the Couples Night of Love to just help people remember we have to stop, take a moment, be intentional, and look into your partner's eyes and let them know you love them and that we're still here.
I like the way you guys just did that now. You guys did that on
No, we do. Yeah, and that wasn't planned.
It just comes naturally. That's what
it does. It is natural for us. Yeah.
So what's going to happen at this this night out, this night of love?
So, Bob, as I stated earlier, you know, we really intertwine thinking and mindset. And so for Couples Night of Love, it's a night in which we took our time and we meticulously made this night a rewind and a refresh for our couples. I think that big picture is actually one of the principles that we really teach when we're talking about mindset and building our minds and building and strengthening our minds. And I want to say this, and this is very important. When we decide to take the hand of that person in marriage, that's a really huge commitment. We have to understand that that's really truly our big picture in life. And as Michele just stated, life happens. All kinds of things happen in our lives that kind of throw us off of that. And we have to have that reminder to say, you know what? This is my partner. And it's understandable sometimes. Watch this, Bob. Sometimes we take for granted that person that's sitting across from us and them being our partner. But I always tell people to look at that a little bit different. That's actually an honor because I'm saying to this person, you're so important to me that life is going so crazy that I trust that you're going to handle those things that I need to have done. But we do need to remind them sometimes. We do need to look into their eyes and say, you know what, baby, I love you. And I love the things that you're doing for me. And so Couples Night of Love was specifically designed for us to be able to sit down across from that person and have that opportunity to do certain things to say, hey, remember the time. Michael Jackson, remember that song? Remember the time. So you have that opportunity to sit across from and say, remember when? Remember when I took you out? Remember when I put that fancy, Bob, listen, me and you are guys, we know how it is. When you have that nice young lady and you really want to impress her, what do? We hit up that clothing shop, right? We up there and we get that music, we get that radio together, we get those songs, we get that Johnny Gill, we get that New Edition. If we really want to go deep, we get into a little Luther Vandross. Ain't that right? These are the things that we get it ready, we get it right to go. But sometimes during the course of life, we do forget those things. And this is a night to say, you know, I'm going to bring that back. And the sparks, again, that we have seen in the 5 times that we've done it is absolutely things that me and Michele planned it, but you can never really imagine the things that go on in there. And we're so proud of that. But I interject that it's really all in the mindset and how we train our minds to understand what's important here in big picture.
And that will help eliminate the onset of mental health, mental health condition going the wrong way, sort of, kind of.
Absolutely.
Keep your mind right, as Steve Harvey says.
Yes.
Got to get your mind right.
That's right.
That's right. You're right, because life does happen, and you know things get kind of crazy at times. You know, it's a roller coaster. It's up and down.
It is.
So,
and I will add in as well, Dr. Bob, that this year we're adding in something extra. A month after the event, the event's February, so in March we're going to come back together, the couples, and we're doing a couples workshop in the mental conditioning gym, which is where we are right now, called "What's the Truth, Damn It." So that's the title of the workshop. What's the Truth, Damn It? Couples Edition, where we can just talk about together, you know, principles to help us all keep our marriages healthy and thriving in this world.
Yeah. So what takes place in that gym that you guys are in right about now? Wait.
Go ahead.
You guys are smiling too hard. It's a legitimate question.
It is a legitimate question. I'm not sure how much you can see of it, and it's actually the theme of this gym. As you could tell, it's a boxing ring. It is an actual office, but I'm a big boxing fan. And I think that boxing is such a metaphor for life. And so when we come in here, we train mentally. It's not physical, but mentally we train. We give ourselves the tools to be able to push forward and get to our life destinations and goals. You keep bringing up, and which is legitimately so, about our health and watching our mental health. Part of our mental health and compromise to it is us not going in the right direction. And when we do that for a sustained amount of time, that does affect us mentally. So you have to be able to train mentally to be able to be strong enough when life deals us blows and pushes us to the right, and we should be going to the left. We have to be mentally strong enough to go against that grain, to go against that wind and say, I'm coming back. And that's what we do here in the gym. We base off of 4 principles of mental conditioning. That's how we bring clarity to our lives. So this is what we do here in the mental conditioning gym. We do our workshops out of here. We do personal one-on-one training out of our gym. And again, it's a very, very powerful place to be. We go to physical gyms, but this is a mental gym where we put the serious work in to be able to reach our goals and our life destination.
And I'm a big boxing fan and a boxing.
I heard. So
and I'm sure you're not going into the ring to knock some sense into somebody's head.
Indeed.
It's a mental thing. So you get in the ring and you just do your thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And listen, sometimes people get knocked out. But it happens. We teach you how to get up, and we teach you how to. You're a boxing guy, so we teach you how to grab and hold.
Get up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing the things that you're doing. Any success stories? People coming back and say, "Hey, man, I want to thank you guys so much because." I was really off the deep end. I was ready to take care of business, but I remembered what you taught me in that gym.
You know what? I'm going to give one quick story about Couples Night of Love. We had a couple one time. They were married about 19 years, and they came to our Couples Night of Love. And, we're hosting so we can kind of see that people are having a good time. But they called us back maybe the next day, and the wife told us, something, I want to really, really say thank you because the conversation that we had at Couples Night of Love, we haven't had that conversation in about 15, 16 years. And that conversation continued in the car. And again, Bob, that's just a reminder sometimes. This is my lady that's in front of me. And guess what?
You played Freddie Jackson. I know.
That's it. My lady. There you go. That's it. And I get a chance to go home with her. That's already in the deal.
Right? The website is www.mentalconditioning.com/night of love. And you'll find all the information there from ticket prices to what we're doing and who, what, when, where, why, all of that, location, all of it.
Elliot Allen and Michele Allen, co-founders, Team Allen Mental Conditioning Gym. The Allen crew. Yeah. Team Allen.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let me see. Give each other a kiss. All right. There you go.
You better cut it off now, Bob.
Thank you. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Open Next.
You can now watch MNN, Brick TV, QPTV, and SIC TV on BronxNet. Tune in to BX Omni, Channel 67 Optimum, 2133 Fios during most Sunday evenings. We'll show you some amazing content from our friends at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Brick TV in Brooklyn, Queens Public Television, and Staten Island Community Television. Every borough represented in the Boogie Down. Epic partnerships for the ages. And catch our new Next channel, produced in partnership with MNN, 24/7 on BronxNet Channel 952 Optimum and 2138 Fios.
I'll see ya.
After a basketball game, a black teenage boy, Brandon, reads his texts in his family group chat. Auntie Flo, congrats on the big win. Mom, that's my baby. Brandon replies, thanks y'all. In a park, his sister Maya texts, where are we celebrating? Dad replies, home. Mom texts, I got dinner going. Auntie Flo replies, ooh, I can't wait. Then receives a FEMA flood watch text alert. She texts the family, anyone see that weather alert? We need a plan to stay safe, especially after last year. Ready has a list of resources at ready.gov/plan. In his workshop, Dad sends a photo of emergency supplies and texts, looks like we need flashlights and batteries, leaving a store with a shopping bag. Brandon replies, I got us covered. Mom texts, I'll check in with Grandma and Pop-Pop. Maya texts, thanks, Auntie. Feeling good about this plan.
I got some batteries.
Auntie Flo replies, love y'all. We gotta stay safe. Later, the family
feel like you get taller
every time I see you. Stay connected. Plan for
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guest is the president of InQmatic. InQmatic, and he's here to speak about the work that he is doing to help small business owners get through a recession. So please welcome to the show, Marcelo Rodriguez. Marcelo, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and share with you all the resources and experience we have with working with small business owners.
Yeah, how long have you been doing it?
I came to this country 20 years ago, and I started my business out of necessity first because I wasn't able to work for my visa at the beginning. But then I started the business, and then with the business, I was able to fix everything else with my visa. And then I started working with bigger companies trying to connect to the Hispanic market, and that led to the business that we're in, which is helping a small business because we know exactly what they are going through, especially when they are foreign-born business owners.
So InQmatic, how did you come up with the name? How did you start the company?
We were doing a lot of events on the consulates after doing marketing company that we did a lot of Hispanic marketing. We did, now I can talk about it. In that time, I couldn't, but we did a lot of marketing for Bloomberg, the Spanish aspect. We did marketing for Nokia in that time. We did marketing for the state, New York State. So we did a lot of big campaigns, but we were behind the bigger names of the when it came to the Hispanic market. Yeah. So after working that, looking at the community, we found out that the biggest problem we have is financing for small businesses, especially for businesses who were not, the owners were not born here. So we don't have a business credit. We don't have a history. We're invisible kind of in the financial aspect. So that's where we start to put all resources to help them understand and connect to the financial market in the U.S.
Yeah. And what are some of the services that you offer?
Mainly is connecting to capital, connecting to money. In the U.S. is a huge market of capital. You can get money from banks, from community banks, to online websites, to private investors. So it's a huge market, and it's very. It can get very complicated, time consuming. So our job is a broker that puts together your position. Based on your position, we can get you access to different capital and help you grow in the process.
Now, this is money that you have to give back, or is it some sort of stipend, or
there are many grants? There are many ways that you can get access for your businesses. Of course, the first one is debt, loans. But then you can also get grants. New York State has a lot of grants right now. After the pandemic, there were a lot of grants for small businesses. Problem is that businesses, they don't know that they exist.
That's there, yeah. They don't know that they're there. But your organization can dig it out and say, hey, we have access.
Exactly.
If you had we can point you in the right direction.
Exactly. With the data that we work, we do a lot of research to the client, and we find ways that based on their location, if they're in, let's say, if they're in New York and they are a minority, and if they are women, then there are certain grants to start to expand to help a certain business. And it depends on if they have employees, if they are in a specific industry. There are so many grants and help for small businesses. Same thing. The problem is that it's so much information out there that there is not enough time to go over it while you run your business.
And of course, in the beginning, we spoke about you helping organizations and businesses get out of recessions. What are some of the tools that you use to help businesses? Because that's one of the main things, or that businesses are afraid of a recession. How's it going to affect my business? How can you help them do it?
I think we are all listening to these news about recession looming, coming, big recessions. But at the same time, recessions have been with us for as long as you can remember. In all the history of business, you have a recession. It's a state of the economy, and the main thing of a recession is economy, is money. So the first thing that a recession affects is the generation of cash flow, the money. Mm-hmm. So one of the best things that we need to do is, first of all, be prepared. Is nothing you can do about it. You cannot stop a recession, but you can manage a recession in your business, and you can be prepared. It's the same thing that happened with the pandemic, with COVID. A lot of the problems we were not prepared, and now we can get the same knowledge that happened before the pandemic, before a crisis, and do it right now. The first thing is to be prepared on the money aspect. Unfortunately, small business owners, because we don't have a lot of time to do many things, we neglect one of the most important aspects, which is the money in, money out. Where is your exact expense? And small business owners, sometimes they don't have an advisor, they don't have a business advisor that can help them. Okay, this is exactly where you are. So be prepared is the first thing. Where is your money going? Where is your money getting? How you're getting the money. The second thing is reduce costs. Once you know where you are, then cut costs, and not necessarily certain costs. Sometimes when you think about a business, a lot of people, what they do first is, let's cut marketing, and sometimes that's a big problem because. And that was a Harvard article that showed that businesses who didn't cut marketing and even increase the marketing were the ones who waved the pandemic.
Because that is one of the first things that they do. Let's go to marketing. Let me see.
And that's
save a lot of money with that.
Exactly.
But who are some of the businesses that, for some businesses, fail, and then some businesses thrive during a recession?
Well, the ones that are prepared, mostly the ones that are prepared. And of course, there are certain industries. The industries, as put it in the mind of a consumer, you are gonna layoffs are coming. You've seen a lot of news about Amazon, the big companies closing. So that means a lot of layoffs. That means less money to consume. So the first thing consumers do is to start cutting non-essential services, and some of the businesses that are mostly that get that are worst in a recession, and the ones which are not essential services. Mm-hmm. The ones that, as essential services, well, they do well in a recession, and they do well in the crisis. However, in general, the business that can thrive on a recession are the ones who can manage. First of all, they are prepared. They manage. They have money to sustain while other businesses fail. They can improve, because if you're the one cutting, if everyone else is cutting on marketing, and you have the working capital to do more marketing, you are the voice in the industry while other people are failing. Yeah. And if you adapt to the technology, because what happened with coming back to COVID, a lot of people the businesses were not prepared. the businesses didn't adapt to everyone now asking everything through the internet, using their telephones, ordering online. But companies didn't adapt. Still, right now, many companies did not adapt to buying online, to ordering online, to credit card, and they didn't adapt to it. So they are having a lot of trouble during the crisis or recession.
Miguel, Marcelo, tell us, do you have anything coming up? Because you're going to wrap me in about 30 seconds. Do you have anything coming up? And give me a website or social media that people can latch on to.
Sure, I can. I'm writing right now the website and social media.
Okay. But it's a great thing that you're doing. You know, people want to know where to take their business, how to get it to the next level, especially in times of times that are uncomfortable for businesses and entrepreneurs.
We have InQmatic.com. You have information on how to grow, how to start, and how to manage your business. And social media, you can get us on InQmatic.com. We have many many events on businesses. We have a lot of initiatives with the consulates too, with the many consulates in New York City. And you can get all the information on the events and initiatives that we're doing to help small business owners.
Marcelo, thank you so much. Marcelo Rodriguez.
Thank you very much.
InQmatic. He's the president. Go to InQmatic.com. InQmatic.com. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being here.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Talk to you again soon. We'll take a quick break right here. We'll come back with more Open next.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug, you know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for you. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, amigo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, amigo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Welcome back. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our last guest is no stranger to the show. She is the founder of Digo No Más, the CEO of Full Main Medical Center and Urgent Care, and she's here to speak about how the fourth season of her show, YouTube show, is doing, Digo No Más, I Say No More, and how she is using her platform to share powerful stories from sexual abuse survivors. So please welcome to the show, Maria Trusa. Maria, welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you, Bob, for having me here again. Very excited to always share with your audience. I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Now, for those who don't know, give us a little history of you and how you got into what you're doing.
So Yo Digo No Más is the movement that I founded a few years ago, 2 years ago to be exact. It comes from when I started sharing the story of my experience, unfortunately, as a survivor of sexual abuse at the age of 9 in the Dominican Republic, where I was born and raised. And as I share the story, you know, my story is a story of many millions of people with different versions. Unfortunately, it happens to so many children. I was 9 when my father decided to give me to one of his friends. And if you want to know more about my story and the healing process, my healing journey that led me into the movement, you can go and get my book, Yo Digo No Más, I Say No More, is in Amazon. It is in Barnes and Nobles, and also in Audible in both languages, Spanish and English. But I'm here to talk about, as we said, our talk show, Yo Digo No Más, season 4.
Yeah, season 4. You really put a lot into it. But before you get into that, the last time we spoke, you did like a triathlon, was it?
Yes.
I mean, wow. Tell us about that and what it was for.
So, Bob, one of the things that I feel as when people go through trauma, you could either take that energy and you can utilize it to build resilience, or you can let the energy actually completely deplete your life. And unfortunately, that happens to millions of people. I decided at some point that I was going to become a limit crusher. And I decided to start experiencing limits with my body. And in 2019, I did the New York City Marathon. And I said in
26.3 miles or something like that, right? Wow.
It's 26.2 miles, yes. And so last year, I decided that I wanted to try something that was really putting me as a limit crusher, testing all my limits. And that was to do an Ironman. An Ironman is 1.2 miles swimming, 1.2 miles swimming, 56 miles on the bike, and 13 miles. So all running, so 70.3 miles, 7 hours, 7.5 hours it took me. But the most incredible thing is that I never swam before. I started swimming last year in March, and I did 1.2 miles, 50 minutes in a river in Georgia, the Havana River.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And this was all to raise money or create the awareness?
It was create the awareness. I wore in my tri-suit. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse at the age of 9, and I say no more. And so it's creating awareness. But honestly, it was for me. It was for me to continue realizing that I am the creator of my life, and that I could create and destroy limits that I've put on myself. And that helps me like to create a movement, to be able to have a talk show that now has over 260,000 views in YouTube. And the show is part of the awareness campaign of what I call the silent pandemic of sexual abuse of our children.
And this is the 4th season now.
4th season. And this is a very strong season, I have to tell you. We have a government official, for me, a government official that actually shared in our show his experience as a survivor of sexual abuse at the age of 12.
Yeah.
So here it goes. Yeah. Mayor Mike Spano from Yonkers, New York.
Yeah. Wow. And just give us a touch of what the interview was like.
I was so honored that he decided to share his story for the first time in a talk show, because he actually, he said in the 90s, he was fighting against sexual abuse, and he was one of the instrumental government officials that helped create the Megan's Law. But this is the first time that he's openly sharing his story with me, and I was so honored. It's such an inspiration, and you get to see the lessons that he learned from his experience, and how difficult, all the difficulties that he had, how broken he was from that experience, and how he actually utilized the energy, as I was saying, building resilience to really create change. And that's what he did in our show. He shared openly, and he also shared his healing journey, and how also he is fighting to stop the sexual abuse of our children.
Yeah, wow. I think we may have a piece of that. Were we going to share a piece of that? Did you bring that?
Yeah, it's we have a little video that we would love to share, so that people will also, obviously they can go into YouTube, our YouTube channel, Yo Digo No Más, and get to see the story of the mayor, but also be able to see many other stories, since we have been doing the show now, 4 seasons, and the stories are very powerful and very inspirational.
I like it. I like everything that you're doing to create the awareness that there is a situation out there that that people need to be aware of, and not be afraid of, because it's a stigma. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have gone through situations that you and the mayor have gone through, but they just don't want to talk about it. And I think you and the mayor shedding light on it just helps to let people know that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to bring it out. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest challenges, and that's why I call it the silent pandemic of sexual abuse, because it is the dirty little secret in the family. I mean, over 93% of the abuse, according to RAINN, which is an organization that really fights against sexual abuse of the children. And I would highly recommend to anybody that is seeing, your show, that if you feel like you need help on this, you could either reach out to us at yodigonomas.com, or you can also reach out to RAINN, this organization. They've done all the statistics, and is over 93% of the abuse happens at home. The monster is in the house, and many times it's a family member, so we don't want to talk about it. It is a secret. And Bob, the shame of it is that in the United States, every 9 minutes a child is sexually abused, and like I said, over 93% is someone close to the family or somebody from the family. And the worst is that 30% only is estimated of the abuse to be reported. So you're talking about the majority of the sex abuse of the children does not get reported. And that is why, my work is, for me, this is a life mission, to be able to break the silence, and to also bring education so that we can create prevention. And that's what we're doing with the movement.
Excellent. Why don't you bring in the piece with you and the mayor?
Spano from Yonkers, New York, represents change. Someone that has created many changes when it comes to our mission of destroying sexual abuse of our children. We have a government official that has decided to break the silence in Yo Digo No Más.
He grabbed me by the arm and pulled me into the stairs. It was a warm day. And my mom had asked me to go to Key Food down McLean Avenue next to my house. I never spoke about my incident. So I'm walking, with the milk, and some gentleman walked by me. He said, "Hey, do you have a cigarette?" Because I think it had infected me in lots of ways. Be strong. Have the courage to go out there, tell the story. Your story will save lives. Your story will prevent others from going through this.
Powerful.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. We love the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Bob, and we appreciate the support. I want to tell you that with Yo Digo No Más, we have something extremely exciting that is happening aside from the show, and I'm sure we're going to be at your show again to talk about it.
Yeah.
We have a march that is happening in Yonkers on the 29th. This will be our second march where we are fighting against sexual abuse. But we also, in about a month, have a book that is coming out that is called A Brave Space, and it's for children aged 10 to 14. And we're going to be teaching children about sexual abuse. What are the different types of sexual abuse, what to do if they're being abused, how to protect themselves from sexual abuse. And about 20% of the book is dedicated to parents. And we're going to be doing a lot more work with parents. And we're getting ready to bring a curriculum that we're piloting with the school district of Yonkers. Dr. Quesada, who is the superintendent of the Yonkers Public School District, who happens to be the fourth largest. He is supporting Yo Digo No Más, and he has been instrumental in the education piece of our work. And we want to say thank you to him, and thank you to the mayor for letting us do this march in Yonkers, which he is leading with us.
Now, you said is that in January?
It's April 29th.
April 29th.
Yes, the march is April 29th, and we have our first gala, and I hope, Bob, that you are there. It's going to be June 1st at the Ritz-Carlton in White Plains, and we have a surprise guest that is going to be very powerful. This is going to be a tremendous gala. Get ready to be inspired.
You got it. All right. So those are two dates that we want to look at, April the 29th and June 1st.
Yes.
And we want to see if we can get maybe some BronxNet cameras over there and just help, try to be a part of what's going on, because you're doing some great things in our community, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So Yo Digo No Más, another episode coming up. We'll go on your website and check that out. You're going to put everything out there for us?
Yes, please support us. Oh, by the way, please subscribe. And Bob, I want to make sure you subscribe. Okay, everyone needs to subscribe to this work, because you subscribing, you're actually helping the movement, and the movement is there to protect our children. We all have to unite. Please go to our website, yodigonomas.com, and make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and support all the Instagram posts that we're doing and Facebook. We're grateful for your help.
Maria Trusa, thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you and all that you do in our community.
Thank you so much, Bob. Take care.
Author and founder, Yo Digo No Más. It's a movement. Everybody climb on board. It's a big one, too. And we got some wonderful things that we're going to share with you. And Maria, you're always welcome to come back and share everything that you have to offer.
Grateful for that.
All right.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's the time for today's show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking it all out. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice, let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can, and you will. I'll catch you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all. Peace.